As municipalities across the country continue to face challenges, Tshwane Mayor Randall Williams is in the spotlight. And this is after he was marred with controversy following an unsolicited 26 billion rand for 2 power stations in the city. Now, Williams, an unsolicited tender, I should say. Williams has denied any wrongdoing and, in fact, is calling on ActionSA to provide any kind of proof for these allegations. Some opposition parties are now calling for a motion of no confidence in a bid to try to have him removed from office. Mbali Thethani is tracking all of this for us. She joins us now live from Alaska Municipal Office in the capital. That, of course, is Pretoria. And Mbali, this is part of our focus today as we take stock of the state that municipalities in the country are currently in. Allegations like these certainly not bidding well, potentially, for things like service delivery.
You're certainly right, and of course, we continue to face a number of challenges when it comes to service delivery in various municipalities across the country. And Ayanda, you even remember that just earlier this year, we saw that Auditor General's report coming out just saying that only 41 municipalities from more than 200 in the country were able to get clean audits. And of course, while you look at those issues and the service delivery challenges which we continue to see, and the amount of protests that many residents continue to embark on. You know, when you look at the latest issues coming out from the city of Tshwane, it is indeed that unsolicited tender worth 26 billion rand. But in the words of Randall Williams, he says that it is an investment proposal and it is not a tender. But just to get a bit of insight, when it comes to the challenges and some of the challenges facing the residents of Tshwane, we are joined by Abel Tau, who is, of course, ActionSA's provincial secretary. Abel, we know that, looking at the Auditor General's report from 2020 to 2021, they cited a number of challenges that continue to face a number of municipalities. Tshwane is also one of those. If you can just enlighten us when it comes to some of the issues that you as ActionSA have noticed in this city.
Look, thank you very much, Mbali, and good morning to viewers at home. I think more than anything, look, the impact of is really felt on the ground. I mean, service delivery has severely been hampered in the city of Tshwane. It is by no mistake that we have been downgraded as a city. That is obviously all of us know that. But equally, if you look in communities, I mean, projects have come to a halt. I'm actually also an MMC of Housing and Human Settlements, and I can tell you now that I inherited a department that was only able to meet its KPIs on 2 out of 64 projects. Now, that should tell you that it's a dismal performance. I've been taking over from there, and it's all because of, amongst other things, that you didn't have a PMU in the city, a project management unit. We all know the infamous Newzroom Afrika, which landed us in a whole host of issues that we currently see. And unfortunately, the Newzroom Afrika matter as well happened when our very own mayor was actually the leader of executive business. So I'm not drawing any parallels, but I'm simply saying, these challenges are there when officials and politicians decide to take routes that are not prescribed in law and circumvent those. The people who really suffer are the ordinary citizens on the ground.
Abel, when we look at the city of Tshwane, the latest developments coming out is indeed that 26 billion rand unsolicited tender. Of course, the likes of Randall Williams, the mayor of the city of Tshwane, says that it is a tender, or rather an investment proposal. When it comes to ActionSA, this is something that you indeed raised alarm on. Where do you stand right now when it comes to the issues around that specific contract, which they are saying is indeed an investment contract?
Look, local government is not rocket science. The regulations are there for a purpose. It's just semantics. I mean, talking about an investment proposal or whatever, it is an unsolicited bid, which according to practice note 11, or you look at the MFMA, this one in particular does not meet the master. I mean, it's nothing innovative about the technology that's being brought. The funding model is not innovative. You don't have a feasibility study that talks to, how to make a business case for this thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I do believe that if we had opened it, and that's exactly what we had said. I mean, I was the first to actually raise alarm on this thing because it was brought in the 11th hour as a late report on the make of the 20th. Fortunately, I sit in that make, and I really poked holes even on a report that had just landed in front of us as the members of the mayoral committee. I mean, anyone can see that this thing has smacks of corruption written all over it. You cannot, based on the current now recording that we all have seen and evidence before us, and a lot of damning evidence that we have seen, points to the fact that there is so much interest and deadly interest from the executive mayor to see this deal through, because it is a deal that he has set his mind that it must go through. And honestly speaking, it cannot be correct that we are going to have people who believe that they can circumvent our laws and then preside over our institutions.
Lastly, what would it mean for the people of Tshwane if a contract like this would then go ahead when it comes to service delivery?
Look, it would have been a travesty. I mean, one of the officials in the recording is saying, how do we expect to subject the residents of Tshwane to a project that is going to produce electricity at a higher rate? And that has not been disputed. Now, you can imagine, Tshwane is already one of the cities which is very expensive to live in. Our people are really, really, really having it hard. And one of the biggest challenges with the changes that are coming in, you would understand that we've budgeted actually lesser for POP. So poor people are hardest hit, and unfortunately, politicians are making deals in the process.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, that is Abel Dawo there, just speaking in his capacity as the Provincial Secretary for ActionSA, but at the same time for MMC here in the city of Tshwane, just talking about the impact if a project like this should go ahead and what it would mean for the people of Tshwane. Ayanda, it's back to you.
Mbali, Thethani, live to us there from Alaska Municipal Offices in Pretoria. Thanks very much indeed. Important to emphasize, of course, that Randall Williams on his end has denied any wrongdoing and is calling ActionSA to provide evidence for their allegations.